Thank you.
Mr. President, can you guarantee every American will be out before the troops leave?
Sanctions,
Can you
Mr.
guarantee?
President, did sanctions come up at all in the G7?
Troops. Thank you.
How many Americans are left in Afghanistan, Mr. President?
August 31st of red line.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the retreater in chief. And you know what else is retreating? His poll numbers. In this video, we're going to take a look at Biden's polling implosion since the fall of Afghanistan to the Taliban. We're going to see new calls from senators for Biden to be impeached over the Kabul debacle. And stick with me to the very end of this video, when we're going to see why it's not just Bumblin Biden that's collapsing, but the entire Democrat Party as well. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Patriots all across the globe. Dr. Stevie with you. Great to be with you. As always, I am your daily fake news antidote, offering patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we jump into things here, let me ask you, how hot is it where you are? You suffering from the heat out there? With the summer hitting some record temperatures, I am so glad that I've got an awesome device that's here to keep me personally cool. It is called the Arctic Breeze 3-in-1 air cooler, and it's a mini air conditioner unit that's small and compact enough to put right on your desk. It's got 3 different wind speeds, and it's got USB connectivity, so it can be powered by multiple devices. And if you click on the link below right now, for a limited time, they're offering this little gem at 50% off plus free shipping to boot. That's right, 50% off and free shipping. So do not wait. It is a limited time offer. Click on that link below or go to easysummercool.com and order your own personal portable AC unit today. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. I'm just going to cut to the chase here. Biden, I believe, is done. I think Afghanistan is a disaster from which there's simply no real recovery for Sleepy Joe. That's certainly the assessment of a number of pundits. To put it bluntly, the Biden presidency is officially a train wreck. We are witnessing a presidency literally unraveling right before our very eyes. And all we have to do is look at his imploding poll numbers. Take a look at this from USA Today. Biden's approval numbers are in a freefall. He has collapsed to just 41% approval, 55% disapprove. Now, just to put that in perspective, okay, we're talking poll numbers that mirror George W. Bush's ratings implosion at the height of the Iraq War fiasco. I'm sure you remember. After months of no WMDs, thousands of American soldiers killed, rise of ISIS, terrorist attacks against our military every single week, Bush's poll numbers imploded. It was the period between August 7th and 16th, back in 2006, where Bush's average approval rating was 37% and his average disapproval rating was 57%. And of course, the Republicans went on to lose the House in a massive Democrat landslide in the 2006 midterms, and that's when we first got Nancy impeachment Pelosi. Gang, make no mistake, with a 55% disapproval, we are seeing comparable dynamics going on here with Biden. And it is not just the USA Today poll. All the polls show Biden imploding. Rasmussen has him now at 44% in his daily tracking poll, with, again, 55% disapproving. And if you want to see the real panic here, a new NBC News Wall Street Journal poll shows that Biden's approval among independents is in a free fall. It's plunged 15 points since April, from 61% to 46%. By the way, I never bought this notion that 61% of independents approved of Biden, okay? I think let's just say I think there were some shenanigans going on in cooking them numbers. But regardless, if that is true, if my assessment is true, then Biden is probably in the 30s when it comes to independence at this point. Now, of course, the panic that's starting to set in among Democrats is that this all spells disaster for the upcoming midterms. Democrats are increasingly recognizing with such imploding poll numbers, there is absolutely no way that they're going to be able to hold on to the House and the Senate. Again, if you're not familiar, according to Gallup, a president that's underwater, so that's a president under 50% approval, can expect to see a loss of an average of 37 seats in the House. So, gang, we're not just talking under 50% approval anymore with Sleepy Joe. We're now talking the possibility of being under 40%. Okay, that's the disaster that's on the horizon for the Democrats. And you can already see it on Capitol Hill Now Lindsey Graham, the senator from South Carolina, he's the latest in openly calling for Joe Biden's impeachment over all this. And it's so funny, pathetic actually. Did you see how CNN responded to that? Oh, so now Lindsey Graham wants to impeach your president. Well, what do you know? They can't even see it. CNN, you guys at CNN, you're so ideologically blind, you can't see that you're the idiots who did this. You turned impeachment into a political weapon. You left-wing activists disguised as journalists over at CNN, and you're embarrassing cheerleading over both impeachments against Trump. You weaponized impeachment to be used at whim. But as we're finding out, it's not just Republicans who think Biden should be removed from office over all of this. It's key members of the Afghan military coalition who think that. Take a look at this from Colonel Richard Kemp, the former commander of British forces in Afghanistan. This is what he had to say on the Mark Levin Show.
So the whole world just became vastly more dangerous. The US government, President Biden humiliated the United States. He humiliated the United States Army. In my opinion, and I don't say this lightly, and I've never said it about anybody else, any other leader in this position, people have been talking about impeaching President Biden. I don't believe President Biden should be impeached. He's the commander-in-chief of the US Armed Forces, who's just essentially surrendered to the Taliban. He shouldn't be impeached. He should be court-martialed for betraying the United States of America and the United States Armed Forces.
Did you hear that? I mean, gang, this is a former commander of the British forces in Afghanistan. Biden shouldn't be impeached. He should be tried by a judicial court for betraying the United States military. How do you like that, CNN? This isn't Trump. This isn't a Republican. This isn't Alex Jones or any other right-wing media personality saying these things. This is the former commander of British forces in Afghanistan who's accusing Biden of humiliating the United States, humiliating the United States Army, and as a result, as the commander-in-chief of the U.S. Armed Forces, who just in effect surrendered to the Taliban, he should be court-martialed. Don't impeach him, put him on trial, court-martial him. And he doesn't appear to be alone in that assessment, at least in terms of Biden in effect surrendering to the Taliban. We're finding out now that America's allies are turning their backs on Biden as well. Now, before we get into that, make sure to click on the link below and register for our brand new Conservative Patriot Live virtual event, so you don't even have to leave your home. It's on September 3rd and 4th, where I and several guests will teach you to help build a society completely free from all things woke and to experience once again the nation that we all know and love. Now, make sure to click on that link below right now to get your tickets, because today, Wednesday, is the last day that you can take advantage of our buy one, get one free deal. If you sign up with any registration package, you'll get another one absolutely free to send to a friend. It's going to be awesome. So do not wait. Click on that link below right now and register for our new Conservative Patriot Live event on September 3rd and 4th and get ready to help build a society free from all things woke. You're going to absolutely love parallel structures, baby. It's awesome. Now, you may have heard, but the G7 have voted to collectively rebuke Biden's cowardice and not seeking to extend the August 31st deadline to evacuate internationals from Afghanistan. Even the most rabidly partisan Democrats like Adam Schiff are admitting that there's simply no way they're going to be able to evacuate all American personnel in Afghanistan within the week. There's just no way, not with all the chaos going on there. They're going to need an extension on that deadline, which, by the way, Biden asked for, he pleaded for, and the Taliban immediately shut him down. They rejected. They made it clear to the entire world that the Taliban are indeed in charge, not just of Afghanistan, but of all geopolitical policy in Central Asia. They're absolutely roasting Biden right now. And as you guys seen, these guys, the Taliban, they're pretty sophisticated with social media, right? They know Biden is senile. They know he's cognitively collapsing. And they're taking every single advantage of that they can. And so what does Biden do when they turn down his request to extend the deadline? He says, okay, all right, August 31st it is. Where's my ice cream? The G7 nations, as we can see from this British commander, were absolutely embarrassed and appalled by such a cowardly folding on the part of Biden. And as part of their own negotiations, they've abandoned Biden. Instead, they are now working with Russia. And as we talked about in yesterday's video on Putin, by now being the de facto leader of the world, the G7 are working with Russia as intermediary to secure an extended deadline to withdraw their personnel safely from Afghanistan. Again, no thanks to Sleepy Joe, who's at the single most embarrassing figure on the international stage today. Oh, and by the way, if you think Kamala is going to have an easier time at this than Bumblin Biden, you got another thing coming. We did a video yesterday that you will definitely want to watch on Kamala's own collapsing poll numbers. She's the most unpopular vice president since the 1970s. She's imploding in the poll. Even Democrats can't stand her. Again, this isn't just Biden collapsing. This is the whole of the Democrat ticket falling apart. And of course, they only have themselves to blame in all of this. And putting up a ticket made up of a presidential candidate who clearly exemplifies significant cognitive decline, and a VP is widely regarded as totally unfit for office, highly disliked even by her own party. The Democrats and their fawning activists in the mainstream media have set themselves up for a colossal fall. And it certainly appears that that fall is now upon us. Now, before we go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video on Russian President Vladimir Putin becoming the de facto leader of the world and what it means for a new post-globalist political order. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.